Okay, I have 3:45 on Friday, February 24th. This is Civil Service Commission meeting, and I'm opening it up. The first item and the only item on the agenda is fire department promotional testing.
Yes, so hopefully did you both receive the memo that, okay, so kind of as is our standard process, we have consulted with the manager's office. The chief and I have had conversations, and we have kind of come to an agreed upon recommendation for testing that's required under Chapter 400 so that we can create promotional lists to fill promotional vacancies in the fire department. Those lists are good for 2 years. The existing list actually expired almost a year ago, but with no anticipated vacancies. We've kind of just waited until we knew that we were going to have a need so that we can get the biggest benefit out of the list after we go through the process. So I attempted to summarize as concisely as I could, but please, if you have questions, let me know. We have summarized the requirements for each of the promotional ranks, and then the proposed testing process. For each rank, we are recommending a process that would be a combination of panel interview with one group that would be appropriate supervisory level, meaning at a higher rank than or a higher equivalent rank than that being tested. A panel interview of internal city staff, and then an assessment center process to be facilitated and put together by an outside consultant who will come in and actually guide candidates through a series of exercises on an assessment day. That assessment will be assessed. I'm using assessed a lot, but that will be external representatives, command staff level representatives from external fire departments who have the expertise in the technical aspects of the job. So they'll be weighted. Candidates will have to achieve a passing score in both the panel interview and the assessment center, and if they do, we'll weight those as outlined in the proposal. Combined total score will result in the rank order of the promotional list that will come back to the Civil Service Commission with for approval.
I noticed it was 60%.
Mm-hmm.
What if they don't make 60%?
What, I'm sorry?
What if they don't make 60%?
What only makes it 60?
What if they don't make 60%?
Oh, no. So it's not 60% is the passing. It's when we come up with a final rank, we're going to say your total score will be comprised of 60% the panel interview, and the other 40% will come from the assessment center, or vice versa. So that's the weighting that the scores. But there will be a minimum passing score for the interview and the assessment center both, and if you don't achieve that minimum score on either of them, then you would not be recommended for promotion at this time.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
Are there any changes from the previous promotional testing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can
So
you just summarize those?
yeah, so what we did, consistent with the change that we made at the sergeant level when we did police assessments, we have replaced the written test score, which has just been an off-the-shelf written exam that we've purchased from IPMA in the past. We're replacing that with the panel interview. The written test, we think, has been good and it has served a purpose. But we have also, I think, come to some consensus that the information that we can get from a panel interview that has questions that are specific to what we want to glean about a candidate regarding, their ability to make that transition into their first supervisory role, regarding the challenges, the opportunities, the issues, the expectations of both the department and the city, that the information that we can glean from that interview, we kind of feel like is more meaningful for someone who is advancing in rank into leadership capacities in the organization. And so that's why we're recommending that rather than do a written test that is purchased from a testing company, that we do a panel interview that we can really tailor to what we believe are the present needs of the department and the city.
And how does past performance weigh into this?
It's a great question. We've talked about that. We will require, as part of the panel interview, when we structure that, we will incorporate questions. We typically try to incorporate questions that either have candidates articulate, kind of make the case for how their history, how their, the efforts, the trainings, the efforts that they have made to prepare themselves for that position are. If we also will try to, if we believe that there are areas of concern that could affect anyone's ability to be effective in that role, we'll try to focus some questions on those so that we have an opportunity to dive into those, right? So, if we have concerns that we may have issues with, communication, right? And whether someone can effectively or appropriately communicate, we're going to try to get into that or try to draw some of that out through the interview process. And I think that will be more effective than what we would have gotten through an off-the-shelf book. But we do not have at this time, we've talked about it for future consideration. There have been discussions, but there isn't, and there never has been in my time here, a piece of this where someone's performance, like their file, has been assessed in some way that would affect their inclusion on this list, right? At the end of the day, under the code, the chief still has the right to hire from any order on the list, right? So that would be one thing. If there's a known issue or a known concern with a candidate, the chief has the ability to hire a different candidate when the time comes.
Or a strength.
Absolutely.
Right, yeah, 100%, yeah.
Okay, do you have any other questions? Okay. We need a motion to accept the guidelines for the promotional testing.
Secondly,
Okay, I'll move it. Second?
So Rick, you moved and Chi, you second? Okay, perfect. I think we still need a vote, even though you both,
Okay.
it's just for formality, right?
Okay, all in favor say aye.
aye.
Aye. Opposed, none? Any further discussion?
No, thank you so much. We are excited to get going. We're going to get an announcement out to candidates on Monday morning. I've got it ready to go, and we're hoping to get everything put together, get the testing components completed by mid-April, and be back before the commission, in the month of April, to review and hopefully get approval of those lists. So,
Okay, so we need a motion to close this meeting, or not close, but end the
Adjourn,
meeting,
yeah.
adjourn.
So how do I answer?
You just say, so moved,
So moved.
and I'll second it. All in
Perfect.
favor? Aye.
Great,
No opposed.
efficient as always.
As always.
Thank you so much.
All